Vietnam has placed a second city under lockdown as it works to contain a coronavirus outbreak. The country has reported 21 new infections, taking its total past 640. COVID-19 has re-emerged in the country after 3 months, and the clock is ticking. Authorities have warned that the coming weeks are critical in stopping the spread.
Vietnam is racing to contain a new wave of the coronavirus. From Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh to the Central Highlands, cases have spread to at least 10 locations since this new outbreak emerged in Da Nang a week ago. A second city in Dak Lak province has now been placed under lockdown. Non-essential businesses have been closed, while public events and religious gatherings have been banned for the next 2 weeks. Residents there have been told they can only venture out to pick up essential supplies. Authorities say the current virus strain appears to be more contagious than before.
Cái dịch Covid lần này thì em cảm thấy mình rất là lo lắng và sợ hãi. Nên mỗi lần ra ngoài đường thì là em thường hay chuẩn bị cho mình chiếc khẩu trang, với lại nhiều thứ đồ dùng khác như là nước rửa tay chẳng hạn. Xong giống như là mình đi đâu thì là mình cũng phải đề phòng một số trường hợp, nên mình cũng...
Thật ra thì tôi nghĩ là những người tử vong về Covid ở Việt Nam thì toàn những người là có bệnh nền rất là nặng, toàn những người mà đã chạy thận đã rất là nhiều năm rồi. Cho nên tôi nghĩ là cái việc mà người ta bị ảnh hưởng của Covid thì cái việc dẫn đến tử vong là chuyện tất nhiên. Thế còn đối với tớ thì tớ nghĩ là mình phải có biện pháp bảo vệ mình theo cái chỉ đạo chung của nhà nước ấy. Đi đâu là phải đeo khẩu trang. Và đặc biệt là nếu mình đã tiếp xúc với những cái vùng dịch rồi thì mình nên đi thử dịch xem là mình có bị Covid hay không.
Vietnam has ramped up testing over the past week, especially so in the epicenter of Da Nang. Authorities plan to test the city's entire population of 1.1 million people. And time is of the essence. The Prime Minister has warned that now is a decisive period to prevent a larger outbreak.
Tung Ngo joins us live now to tell us more about the situation as it's unfolding in Vietnam. Tung, the Prime Minister has raised concerns about this latest outbreak, but are authorities taking any new steps?
One key major new step in Vietnam's current response to the new wave of outbreak is massive testing at much larger scale than what Vietnam did in response to previous outbreaks. Vietnam is planning to test all residents of Da Nang city in the epicenter of this new wave outbreak, the city of more than 1.1 million people. And the authorities really racing against time because today COVID-19 infection have been detected at 4 factories in that city of a combined workforce of nearly 4,000 people. And one major cluster is a complex of several hospitals where there are thousands of patients that are highly vulnerable to the virus. One major measure that Vietnam authorities is doing is to strengthen their precautions to protect infections of a rate of its health workers, because in that city of Da Nang it has recorded higher infection rate among health workers, and that is very critical to protect its medical system, its health officials from being contracted with the virus. And lockdown measures are being discussed as well, but not on a national scale, but at a more limited and targeted size, as Vietnamese authorities is trying to avoid and minimize the disruptions and negative impact of such drastic measures on local economies as well as on the society. And Vietnamese Prime Minister said that this new wave of outbreak would have much more critical impact on Vietnam society, on the country, in compared to the impact of previous outbreaks. But at the moment, as you mentioned, Vietnamese Prime Minister also said that early August this week is decisive in Vietnam's fight against COVID-19, and they are deploying resources at full force in order to control epicenters of outbreak, including Da Nang City.
Tung, have officials made any progress in tracing the source of this new outbreak?
this source of this new outbreak has become much harder to chase. And the priority now is to contain further spread, further transmission among the communities, because that's a big city of Da Nang in the last month when the virus was quietly spreading in that city. More than 1.4 million people, mostly local tourists, have traveled to and from Da Nang city to many other provinces of Vietnam. So one critical task now is to carry out major massive testing campaign to identify and isolate the cases. And that is a major test to Vietnam's medical system, because even Vietnam has taken advantage of the time that they put outbreaks under control for 3 months in order to increase its capacity. The need for tests for coronavirus is still much higher than the capacity. So at the moment, Vietnam is deploying all measures it can, because the window of opportunity in order to contain the virus is very small. And I talked to many local businesses here in Hanoi, and they told me that this new wave of outbreak strike a heavy blow to their economic to their economic performance, because they are still reeling from the negative economic impact of the last outbreaks.
Well, thanks for that update. Tung No speaking to us live from Hanoi.